Hi, if you ride bike trials and you use Magura HS33 based brakes, this video is for you, as today we are going to discuss about the refilling process of refillable brake pads for the Magura HS33s. As you may already know, I use the GC Race brake pads for my Magura HS33 brakes on my trial bike and I'm pretty happy with their performance. Today I'm going to change the infills of my brake pads as the old ones have been significantly worn out. But first things first, and it has to be made clear that your brake pads should be refillable and you have to check with the manufacturer specifications if you are able to refill your brake pads or not. Also, you should check out the compatibility of the infills that you want to use with the brake pads backing that you already have. Furthermore, I have to make clear that I do know that you may be able to modify any brake pad and make your own custom brake pads, but for this one we are going to discuss about the process to replace infills on brake pads with aluminum backing such as the GC Race brake pads that I use. So having made everything clear, let's start taking apart the brake pads, and in order to remove the worn out infills you just have to pull them out of the aluminum backing pockets. Also, one more thing that I would recommend you to change every time you pull the brake pads out of your pistons is to replace the O-rings that can be found where the brake pads made with the pistons. This will ensure that the brake pads will fit snugly to your pistons and eliminate any rattling when they are not engaged. The next step before replacing the brake pads infills is to thoroughly clean the aluminum brake pads backings with acetone to remove any oil contaminants or any other debris that may have been accumulated during their use. Having everything cleaned, it's time to replace the infills. This can be done either by just press fitting the new infills to the aluminum backings, or after searching online, I read at the website of trialsbike.com that you can use one of these glue types to strengthen the bonding of the infills to the backings. So as you may have already guessed, I wanted to be extra sure for my brake pads, and so I used the Loctite 435 to further secure the GC Race infills into their aluminum backings, and I clamped them on a vise to evenly press the infills into their backing pockets. Then I let the glue set, and after a while I removed the brake pads from the vise, and the last thing I had to do was to fit brand new O-rings on each brake pad. In fact, I tend to change O-rings every time I remove the brake pads from the pistons, as they are really inexpensive, and changing them eliminates any free movement of the brake pads when they are not engaged. Also, the O-rings that I choose to use are a bit harder than the ones originally included with the GC Race brake pads, so as to make the brake pads a bit more secure when mounted on the HS33 pistons. Finally, the brake pads are ready to get mounted on my bike again, and my bike is once more ride ready. But I would like to know, what brake pads do you use? Do you prefer refillable brake pads or not? Please let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, smash the like button, and in case that you are new to our channel, please consider subscribing and hit the notifications bell so as to get notified every time I upload a new video. Also, if you think that this was helpful, feel free to share it with your friends. Finally, we can always be in touch by following me on social media, and you can find the links to the relevant accounts in the description below. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Until then, make sure that your bikes are well maintained.